To see the full video, please go to my YouTube.
What a day. What a day.
To make you happy birthday. So Amiah turns the big 20. You know, in Japan, 20 is like the age like you become a woman or a man. I think it's Hatachi. Hatachi, I think that is 20 years old. And none of these are Amaya. These are all, newborns, baby girls. But um, I don't have much wishing her happy. I'm going to do a very special birthday greeting. I've already sent her something. I sent her three things, two things and a card. So I'll do a special greeting for her on Tuesday morning after my final video for this house. But I want to just basically talk about what, while she was born and growing up, what I was going through in my life. So it's going to be kind of a strange one, but I'm going to talk about me from 2004 to now. Now, during the time of 2004, I had interned at a Hollywood agency. It was a children's talent agency for 8 months. I hated my job. I wasn't getting paid anything, and I was just doing I was doing kind of quote unquote slave work, the kind of work I would be doing at Universal Studios years later. But I wasn't learning anything. I wasn't getting paid anything. It was just kind of like, hey, here's a guy, here's a body, he can clean up after us. That was my internship, and it was absolute shit. So I ended up leaving that job or leaving that volunteer efforts in February of '04. Some time had passed. I had worked on my art, my writing, and I had my mom suggested for me. I was 26 at the time. Suggested that I go into building and grounds worker adult school. So I took adult classes to basically be a custodian, a janitor. Okay. Like that was all I was going to ever be. Like I didn't have any real ambitions. It was 2004 and it was a difficult time. So I took classes for a few months. And then I took a final exam, but I did not turn in my application, which ruined my chances of becoming a janitor. So oops, but I still have my 60-hour certificates. I guess that means something. 2005, Revenge of the Sith came out. Other movies were coming about. Um, I I just didn't know what I was supposed to really do, and so I my mom referred me to uh, an employment agency for handicapped people. And I tried it. I never got anywhere with it. It was like you're with other people who have physical handicaps and they look for jobs, like part time to full time, blue collar jobs, whatever was out there. It was a mess. And I was still working on my art, my writing, but it was just like, I don't know. I had a relationship with somebody much older than me. Uh, didn't work out, but still I struggled. There's Nana. Rest in peace, Nana. I lost all my grandparents. So in 2006, uh, I I was doing a lot of case studies. Now, case studies meaning that based on my hemophilia, which I was born with in the late 70s, my hemophilia was a bleeding disorder. Alex Borstein has the recessive gene for that. And I did case studies with my doctor to figure out uh, what, like testing out new medications. But in the back of my mind, I thought, what if I could publish a book? Or, I try to get my stuff out there. I tried one organization, I think it was GLAWS, Los Angeles Writers. I tried to fit into a lot of groups back then, like extracurricular activity groups, but it never worked out for me. So I struggled. Still, I struggled, but I was determined to do something. And 2007 was when I actually published The Outcasters Drake by Maestro Drake. So that was the first time I really did anything outside of just graduating 4-year college. I had my high school diploma, I had my associate of arts and my bachelor of arts, but I just didn't know where I was going. I was like floating through life. In some ways I still am. But I published my first book. It's out there. I think it's still out there on Amazon. Yeah, any Google search, you can find some remnant of it. I didn't sell. I only sold like on one hand a number of books, but uh, yeah, it was a mess. I think I went on a date with somebody, and I met her through Craigslist, and I don't think she appreciated my work. Nobody did. Anyway, 2008, 2008, 2009. For some idiotic reason, I decided to kind of go into acting again. I tried that before in the 90s. Maybe I did it for to impress the girls. Maybe I did it because I'm stupid. I don't know. I found that between taking the acting classes in the summer of 2008 in Agura Hills and doing Vampire Masquerade in 2009, which I'm not sure if you can find that on Google, but it's worth a try. Um, it was a frustrating experience. I did not like. There was a lot of hatred, a lot of passive aggressive attitudes. Acting in Hollywood, the Hollywood industry, between working at a children's talent agency and working in or doing theater acting or trying to get somewhere in student films, it just wasn't working for me. I think after 2010, I was pretty much done with all that. It was not for me, and it never will be. But tried. I tried all that. It's the politics. As Joe Rogan said on his experience, you have to be chosen. You have to look and sound like the person that, if you look and sound like people before you, then there's a chance you'll get in. But it's was really difficult. But I got through theater and some student films, but it was just not, it was not for me. So I moved on. 2010, I went back to college after so many years. I had my bachelor's degree from 2003. I went back to college, and I decided to go and do American Sign Language. I only did it because I looked in a booklet in a binder and said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try this. So I remember some, ASL. I remember saying, you can do Amiah's, IAH. I think the first, I kept on misspelling it. And I was like, stupid me. I could not remember it. So, um, things happen, and I just not even like, you don't even pay attention. But so you have to remember the letters. And so anyway, so I did that for a while, and I was in the process of publishing my second book, The Outcasters, A Society of Short Stories. So 2011, 2012, I got my book, The Outcasters, Society of Short Stories, published, self-published, 700 pages long. It was a long book, but I've learned to write better and draw better. Um, I had done physical education class for the 100th time to get requisites in. I went from doing ASL because I just didn't have any real friends in ASL, and switched over to Japanese studies, Japanese language studies, Nihongo. I feel comfortable more with studying Japanese language than American Sign Language. I didn't have anybody really there to look out for me. I still have no real friends, and that was tough. So I struggled, but eventually by 2012, I got a lot of credits from Japanese language, but I just couldn't apply them to anything. And 4-year college, getting that again was expensive. So I moved on from that. I moved on to other things. 2013, not a lot happened, but I did go to speakeasies, one of them being the Last Bookstore in downtown Los Angeles. I no longer go to that. Uh, I tried different things. I tried different avenues of just kind of being out there on stage. I did go through Facebook. I had a website called freewebs.com. I don't think it's still there anymore, but I used to have all my art up there. I put some of my art through MySpace. I still have art through DeviantArt, my own stuff. And some of my stuff through Facebook. It's still there in the Facebook archives if you ever want to check it out. I go under Drake Maestro, of course. But yeah, that was a different time. And just trying to figure out what exactly I'm supposed to do. But I started taking taiko classes, it's a Japanese style drum. There's different styles of drums that I used. 2014, I took the last of my taiko classes, and I moved on. I took kyudo as a discipline, but I quit that too. So 2014, I kind of shuffled on. Not a lot happened. I think I just started doing like volunteer work around Gardena, which has a large Japanese community. There's JCI. There's a Japanese Cultural Institute. I tried different things in Japanese culture. Not much to report for 2015. I just kind of shuffled around doing more volunteer work. I was happy with it. I did different jobs here and there. There's actually like I forget what it is now, but there's different like I did volunteer to do like to walk dogs and clean up after dogs and take care of dogs. Didn't last too long there. It was too far anyway, but I just tried different things. I just kind of floated around, shuffled around. 2016, I had the longest volunteer I think ever. Well, no, that's debatable because for 2016, I was an usher for a city-owned theater for like stages. We had like Snow White, who the it was an Asian Snow White. And I thought it was pretty cool that they had that and ballet and dancing. There's different plays that they have and ah like Russ ballet and musicals. And it was they had beauty pageants too, and sometimes people come in for Alcoholics Anonymous and all that. So it was like I worked there from January to October 31st of 2016. So it was a different time. I wouldn't go back again. It just wasn't for me. But I did the best I could. 2017, regrettably, I did not see War of the Planet of the Apes in theaters. I had to wait until last year to see it. However, I did see the first two movies, and for some reason, this this girl was in the back of my mind. But I moved on with my life. I had to. I had to do other things. Um, I quit the last volunteer job. I did a couple more things, but it just wasn't for me. I spent more time focusing on my YouTube channel, doing art, doing storytelling. That's what I did in 2015, but I started to kind of slowly build upon it. I'm not sure if this was 2018, but in 2018, I think I started giving thanks to all the stunt people who did movies and TV shows. Stunt double takes. Either I started that in 2018 or 2019 because I started it after the new year and then would go for 365 days. Every day I would thank somebody. So they're still in my tweets. There's still like stunt double takes segments online. Don't know if I should put them in a playlist, but I got time. Hopefully I'll have time after the move. But yeah, just wandered around, did different things, fan tributes to other celebrities. I didn't do a whole lot, but I was building on my YouTube channel. 2019, I was still building on my YouTube channel, really like putting a lot more content. And then I finally got a volunteer job at a library. I thought this is perfect. Maybe I can get a job there. I really was hoping for that. I really was. I mean, like the easiest kind of like way to, you can make money, you can be happy, you don't have to do blue collar work. It was great. I mean, I really was aiming for that. I thought if I'm just patient, because I volunteered for other places like the Natural History Museum in Los Angeles, other places, but here I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do the best I can. And guess what happened? The pandemic. We had the lockdowns, the COVID. Some people were betraying their own rules and enforcing upon us, but whatever. What can you do? How much control does one have? We can't go through that again, but 2020 was a mess. Got into some arguments with people, built my content up. I focused more. I think this was the time I focused more on my YouTube channel than ever before and tried to just build upon it. And that's when I looked at Amiah for the first time. I looked at her and I really wanted to say something. Here's the 4,000, good journey. And then she shared my response for this question sticker. Dandelion. So I made two wishes. I still haven't told you what they are, but maybe someday I will. But yeah, I made two wishes with that. Long time ago, months ago. But anyway, so I kept these. I remembered these so well. I kept them. So that was the first time I said hello. But I kind of focused on other things because I think of Maya. I think maybe this was the last year she had her Snapchat. I think she got rid of Snapchat after the late 20 teens and focused primarily on Instagram and Twitter. When the lockdowns happened, I had to do soul searching, and eventually in 2021, I worked for Universal Studios. I did apply for a library job but the timing was so close. I had to go for two different interviews. I had to go for so many interviews on Zoom, and those were the days where I would go for Zoom interviews because no close quarters, no 6 feet apart. Even though that was not, I think Fauci took the credit for that, but CDC stuff. But anyway, so it was a rough time, and I just was like, okay, I'll do Universal Studios, but I ended up doing like blue collar work, park services. You're taking out trash and pulling Berthas and big carts for hours, up to 12 hours. And that was not rewarding work, but it was there. I worked this job until 2022 in July, and then I quit because of the unfair conditions and the system was not taking care of me. I didn't mind doing hard work for 8 hours a day. The problem was it was building up, it was getting intense. Halloween Horror Nights was a bitch. It really was. It was really tough. So I quit in July of 2022, moved on to other things, worked more on my art. So I really focused more than ever before on YouTube. I was really building up content. I had been building up content since 2015. So I was hoping things were going to work out. 2023, I started to focus on Amiah content in August. It'll be a year anniversary for that. But I decided after push and shove, after I felt like this was the right thing to do. Enough time had passed. I didn't want to come off as like Mr. Epstein, who's rest in peace, I guess. But I didn't want to come off as that. But I also didn't want to, you know, again, people have shat on me for existing for different reasons. People will call me dirty old man. I don't really give a damn. I really don't. I tried. I tried to be nice to the girls, to the women in my own life, in my real life. So I just said, fuck it. I'm going to do this tribute. I'm going to do this every week. And yeah, and I kept on going about it and still building up my content. That's what I kept doing. It is, I guess I'm in a better spot now, moving house. I am focusing more on being a YouTuber than all the other stuff I tried in the past. Uh, I will say that ever since I really started doing Amiah Sundays and then Amiah's musical journeys, and then I'll do a new segment later on this year. I feel better. I don't think I you know it's not misplaced sentimentality. It's not misplaced anything. I really like her. Okay. But I also wish her the best in whatever she wants to do. And uh whether she's in New York or Los Angeles. I sent the box to New York. I just kind of took an educated guess that maybe it's better if it goes to New York. But if it goes to LA, maybe I'll send the next one in LA for a laugh. But I just wanted to kind of just do something nice for her birthday. And while just kind of going through the years, the last 26 years, I was not 26 years, the last 20 years of my life. Um, it's just been a rough journey for me, and I want things to get better. And I hope things get better for you, Amaya. Uh, Hopefully those last few movies you did work out, and if not, hey, modeling's your main thing, and you do the modeling until you get bored of it, which probably won't be for a while. It's just you got to do what's natural for you. Just like I do, just building my content's natural for me. I just want to see the beautiful eyes, one last time. The future is the future really AI generated? As if poor Amaya doesn't have enough battles. AI generated models could bring more diversity to the fashion industry or leave it with less. This is in Chicago. London based model Alexandra has a twin, but not in the way you expect. Her counterpart is made of pixels instead of flesh and blood. So this says she and her alter ego mirror each other, even down to the baby hairs, and yet it is yet another example of how AI is transforming creative industries and the way humans may or may not be compensated. That's just weird. It's just weird because it's like the I think based on what I see Amaya in a shopping cart, this is the one thing I love about you, Amaya, is that you don't live in your glamour. You don't live in you visit the glamour, you visit the luxury, but you don't live in it. You don't let it overtake you. And proponents say the growing use of AI in fashion modeling showcases diversity, uh, and digital modeling saves money for companies and creates opportunities for people who want to work with the technology. There's the model, there's the model. Uh, but I think it's like the critics raise concerns for the may push human models out of a job. Yeah, I mean, it's like stay at home, we'll do the work for you. But it's like, but the way Amaya poses now, like Amaya will tilt her head, she'll lift her head up when she poses with friends, when she hugs friends. The far away stare that she does in some of the shoots. Only Amaya can do that, right? You could build an algorithm, but it's not the same. Um, Seeing her in that shopping cart really made me think she cares about gummy bears. She cares about the simple things in life. To have AI, it might be one thing if Amaya was in her 90s and you wanted to get somebody that looked like her in her 20s to kind of recreate the magic of 2024, but to just be lazy and not, that's a whole other topic, but it's not something I know much. But I know when AI is trying to do the work of artists and writers and stories, that's what I can relate to. But I don't think she would care for this. That's what I think. Anyway, this is a whole other thing to worry about. As if you don't have enough to worry about. Anyway, happy birthday and special birthday video coming up on Tuesday. All right, so don't worry about all this. Is that the AI thing? That looks like the AI thing. Oh, this is scary stuff. Also, I mean, who doesn't like? What girls don't like traveling the world? You're gonna miss all that.